In December, Microsoft and OpenAI did something they almost never do. Within 48 hours, both adopted a file format invented by their biggest competitor. Cursor followed. Then Gemini VS Code, about 40 tools in 7 months. The format they were all racing to support, a folder. With a markdown file inside, that's the whole thing. And here's the part nobody tells you. When security researchers scanned nearly 4,000 of these folders on public marketplaces, more than 1 in 3 had a security flaw and 76 were confirmed malware. So today we are cracking one open layer by layer. By the end, you'll know exactly what's inside a skill and why you should read one before you ever install it. Welcome back to Cyber Creed. 3 things today. 1. What a skill actually is. The real mechanism, not the marketing line. 2. The anatomy. Every file and folder inside, from a bare markdown file to skills that ship code, templates, even paid authentication. 3. The economy forming on top. People are selling these folders and people are poisoning them. Start with the problem. You want your AI agent to always follow your team's deployment process. The obvious move, paste the instructions into its system prompt. In Claude Code, that's the CLAUDE.md file. It works. But that file loads at the start of every session, whether the task needs it or not. Stack 10 workflows in there, and you're burning thousands of tokens on instructions irrelevant to what you asked. Context is the scarcest resource an agent has. Anthropic's answer, shipped October 16, 2025, don't preload the knowledge, shelve it. A skill is a directory with a skill.md file inside. Instructions, scripts, and resources the agent pulls in only when the task calls for it. Anthropic's own analogy, an onboarding guide for a new hire. Table of contents, chapters, and an appendix you only open when you need it. Now the immediate confusion. Isn't that what MCP is for? No. And here's the cleanest test. MCP gives your agent hands. Live connections to external systems. Your database, GitHub, Slack. A skill gives your agent training, how to run a procedure. And they're built opposite ways. Connect an MCP server, and every tool schema it exposes is front-loaded into context. As one Hacker News commenter put it, even if the agent never calls it, it's costing you. A skill idles at about 100 tokens. And /commands? Claude Code literally merged them into skills. Same /, but now it can carry files. One format is quietly absorbing everything around it. So let's open one. The entire required anatomy, one folder, one skill.md file. Inside that file, 2 parts, a YAML Frontmatter block and markdown instructions. In the open spec, only 2 fields are required, a name, max 64 characters, and a description, max 1024. And that description is not documentation, it's the trigger. It is the only thing the model reads when deciding whether your skill matters to the current request. Write it vague and your skill never fires. The community calls it the coin flip problem. User reporting skills that trigger about half the time until they rewrote the description to be, quote, pushy. But Claude Code extends that front matter into something closer to an app manifest. And this is where skills stop being just markdown. Allowed tools, pre-approved tools, so the skill runs without permission prompts. Disable model invocation, human only, the model can't fire it. Context fork, run the skill in an isolated subagent so it doesn't pollute your conversation. You can even pin the model or the reasoning effort. Remember allowed tools. Right now it's a convenience feature. In Act 3 it's the murder weapon. Here's the mechanism that makes all of this work. The one idea to internalize, progressive disclosure. 3 levels. Level 1, at session start the agent loads only each skill's name and description, about 100 tokens per skill. Level 2, when a request matches, the skill file's body loads. Anthropic says keep it under 5,000 tokens. Level 3, everything else in the folder, reference docs, scripts, costs 0. Not almost 0. 0 until the moment it's read or executed. Simon Willison ran the math. 20 installed skills idle at roughly 1,000 tokens. Front-loaded, those same 20 would eat 18,000 before you say a word. His verdict, skills might be, quote, a bigger deal than MCP. Now the part that surprises everyone. There is no skill engine. Watch what actually happens. Your request matches a description. The agent runs, literally, cat skill.md in a bash shell. A file read, the instructions land in context. If they point to another file, another cat. That's the entire runtime. No protocol, no server, no handshake. Which is exactly why 40 tools adopted it this fast. Supporting skills means supporting reading files, and every agent on earth already does that. But it means something darker too. A skills instructions enter your session with roughly the authority of your own prompt. Hold that thought. If this teardown is earning its minutes, the like and the subscribe genuinely help the channel. 1 second and back to the folder. Now the optional folders, the complexity ladder, rung 1 references. Anthropic's guidance is to keep the main skill file under 500 lines. Everything deeper goes into reference files, loaded only when the task demands them. Their own PDF skill ships a forms guide, an entire form filling manual that loads only when you're actually filling a form. On my machine, one knowledge graph skill carries 8 reference files, query syntax, exports, transcription. A session that never queries the graph never pays a token for any of them. It's documentation with a lazy loader. Rung 2 is the killer feature, scripts. A skill can ship executable code, Python, shell, whatever the environment runs. And the economics are beautiful. When the agent executes a script, the code never enters the context window. Only the output comes back. Anthropic's PDF skill chains 3 Python scripts. Check the fillable fields, extract the form structure, fill the fields, hundreds of lines of battle-tested code, 0 tokens, fully deterministic. Versus the alternative, the model regenerating that logic from scratch every session and getting it subtly wrong one time in 5. This is the moment a skill stops being a prompt and becomes software. Rung 3 assets. Templates, fonts, brand files the scripts consume. And now you can see the full spectrum. A bare skill file teaching a Git workflow, that's a skill. Add references, you got a manual. Add scripts, a tool chain. Add assets, a product. And full disclosure on how far this goes. The video you are watching right now was produced by a skill, a folder on my machine holding a production playbook, a frozen visual theme, brand fonts and reference frames from past episodes. Every scene you're seeing passed through it. That's not a demo, that's my actual pipeline. One practical layer, skill stack. Claude Code loads them from 4 places. Enterprise managed, personal in your home.claude folder, per project in the repo, and bundled inside plugins. Name collision, enterprise beats personal, personal beats project. And one caveat that bites themes, skills don't sync across surfaces. The folder on your laptop, the zip you upload to Claude.ai, and the API skills endpoint are 3 separate worlds. So why did a folder take over the industry? Timeline. October 16th, 2025, skills launch Claude only. December 18th, Anthropic publishes the format as an open standard. Agent skills.io, Apache licensed. Within 48 hours, Microsoft and OpenAI adopted. By March, 32 tools. By this summer, around 40. Cursor, Copilot, VS Code, Gemini, Codex, JetBrains, plus the frameworks. LangChain, Crew AI, and Microsoft's Agent Framework, which shipped Python support 6 days ago. It's the MCP playbook, run twice, ship internally. Open the spec, let the ecosystem standardize on your format. And portability is real. When the coding agent RuCode shut down in May, its users migrated to Klein and their skills came with them, unchanged. The format outlived the tool. A format everyone can read is a format anyone can sell. The registries are already big. One reports over 8 million installs, and a real paid market has formed. $5 to $15 a skill, sellers claiming hundreds a month. But look at the delivery mechanics, because there is no official buy a skill API. What's actually being sold comes in 3 patterns. Pattern 1, a zip file behind a Stripe checkout. Pattern 2, the one you'll see in the wild. The skill lives in a private GitHub repo. You pay. A webhook emails you an access token, and you install with skills install repo URL -- token. That token is not a license. It's private repo authentication, checked once at download. Pattern 3 is the closest thing to real licensing. Subscription skills served through an MCP server, $9 a month, and the skill phone's home on every call. Stop paying, it's gone. And anyone can poison one. February 2026, security firm Snike scanned 3,984 skills across the big marketplaces. 36.8% had at least one security flaw. 13% critical, 76 were confirmed malicious. Credential stealers, backdoors, and nearly every one of them paired its payload with prompt injection. Hidden instructions the model obeys. Why does this work? Because of the 2 things you learned in the anatomy. A skill speaks with near user authority, and Frontmatter can pre-approve tools. Researchers at Reversi chained exactly that. A skill declaring allowed tools, bash * plus a shell command embedded in its context. Installing it opened a reverse shell, no reasoning step, no warning on screen. And in June, a fake skill passed marketplace security scanners by pointing to an external documentation page, scanned clean on Monday, rewritten malicious on Tuesday. The scan happens once, the page can change forever. So here's the rule set that actually protects you and why each rule works. 1. Read the skill file before installing. It's markdown. 90 seconds. It is the entire attack surface. 2. Check the Frontmatter for allowed tools. That's where silent permissions hide. 3. Read every file in scripts or don't install. That code runs on your machine with your access. 4. If you don't need code, prefer instruction-only skills. No scripts, no shell, most of the risk gone. 5. Treat a marketplace skill exactly like a random executable from a stranger, because functionally that's what it is. The defense is boring, that's why it works. Let's run the whole machine once, end to end. You type, fill out this tax form PDF, discovery. The agent scans its shelf of descriptions, 100 tokens each. The PDF skill matches. Activation, CLAUDE.md. The instructions load. The task mentions form fields, so the form's guide loads too. Execution. It runs the extract form structure script. The code never touches context. Its output does. Fields filled, PDF delivered. Total cost a few thousand tokens for a capability that preloaded would cost tens of thousands, or simply wouldn't exist. So here's the one sentence to keep. MCP gives an agent hands. Skills give it training. And the training is just a folder you can read. That's the real revolution. The most important capability format in AI right now isn't a protocol or a platform, it's files. Which means the thing you're installing into your agent is fully auditable by you in 90 seconds before you trust it. Most people will never spend the 90 seconds. Now you know exactly why you should. If this earned it, subscribe. Cybercreed goes deeper into where agent tooling breaks next. Thanks for watching.